Hi everyone, today I'm going to show you how easy it is to use the Fiskars Circle Cutter. This is one tool that I've been using heaps lately for projects for the Melbourne show this year and also for a few other projects. The reason I love it is because you can make circles from 1 inch to 8 inches using this tool. When you first get it, there are 2 blades in the side carriages here. Okay, you'll need to take the little blue cap off. I've got one blade out already. And then you'll need to pop it in the blade carriage. And this is how we do it. You just tip it upside down. Just be very careful as you push it in with your thumbnail that you don't cut your finger. And it's as simple as that. In the middle, there's this rotating knob here that allows you to change the measurements, okay, depending on what measurement you want. It's in both centimetres and inches. Now, let's say we want a 2-inch circle. I'll set it at 2 inches on the inches side, and I'll turn it around in a minute and show you. There's actually a little arrow in the middle on both sides, but it's very hard to see when you first get it out of the packaging. So I'll tip this up, I'll pop my finger where it is. I'll set that on the 2-inch mark, but I've marked that little arrow in the middle in here with a texter. I'm not sure if you can see that. I'll move it over a little bit. Okay, and it's on the other side as well. There's a tiny little arrow in there. So if you can mark that to start off with, it makes it so much easier to see the measurements when you're trying to line them up. Okay, I've got my Fiskars mat underneath. I've got a piece of cardstock. I've got that set at 2 inches. Now what I need to do is hold the middle down really firmly. If I hold that up, you'll see there's a little spring under here. When you push down on that, that has this gripper foot here that's going to grip onto your work. You have to make sure that you can hold that really firmly with one hand. Hold it down. I like to put my thumb over here so that I'm holding the cardstock that I'm cutting, and the rest of my fingers with my left hand on that centre to keep the pressure down. Then I use my right hand to turn it. When you turn the tool, you don't turn it at the end of where the blade is. You grasp it around the middle here, and that will give you even pressure. So let's have a go. Remember, I've got it set on the 2-inch, so that should be fine. Yep, perfect. Okay, it's as easy as that. That was 2-inch. Now, say I want to make some rings. I could then put that one aside, set this at about, let's set it at 3 inches. So I'll turn it around so I can see it, the measurement, and I'm going to, if I move it this way so you can see it. Okay, now I'm making that, I'm setting that on about the 3, where that little arrow is. I'm not sure if you can see that. So it's set at 3 inches now. Now I tighten the middle dial so it doesn't move. And then I pop it back. Remember, that was a 2-inch one, so I'm just going to sit that back on top. And I'm going to line that, to make sure that's centered. Once again, I'm going to hold pressure with my left hand and use my right hand to cut with, to turn the tool. Okay, and it's as simple as that. Oh, it's actually already, there you go, it's stuck to it. And there we have, the outside was 3 inches, remember. So now we've got the 2-inch circle that I just cut out. And then there's, that was just, what was that one? That was 3 inches. So you can make all sorts of things by altering the sizes with it. So making these rings, I've been making quite a few lately and using them on cards and for projects for the show. But if you had something like this, with the Olympics coming up next year, kids could use this for their Olympics projects by, you know, doing 5 rings and then overlapping them for the Olympic rings. Lots of fun doing that. Other things you can do, you can make larger circles. You can do them in one colour and then do a smaller one, something like, let's see if you can see this one. This one was 2¼ inches. And then I've made a ring as well inside it. Then you can, this one was about 4 inches. I've written it on the back, okay. And then I've had a 2-inch circle that I did. So there's lots of things you can do with it. If you want a larger circle, okay, let's give it a go. Let's change this to about 5 inches. Okay, so I'll turn it over and set it once again. Line up that arrow. And it's on the 5-inch mark, I think, yes. Okay, there we go. Pop it down on your cardstock. And once again, hold. I'm not sure whether you can see this, okay. I'm holding it with my left hand again and turning it with my right. But it is personal preference. You may find it works better the other way for you. Okay, pop that aside. And that one makes a 5-inch circle. Very easy, and there's such fun. It's such fun to use. I'll show you a few other projects that I've been doing with it recently. I had fun doing this layout for Sam, for my grandson. Okay, you can see I've used the larger circle here. That looks like about a 7-inch circle, or maybe even an 8-inch circle. Not sure if you can see all that. Okay, and then I've done lots of little circles around using photos of Sam, and I've used different sizes. So I've set the circle cutter at 3 inches or 2.5 inches, or even larger. But so there you go. This one is quite a large circle. Let's see what else I've got here. This one was a 7-inch circle, and it was a clock. Now, I'm not sure, I might have to move this back a little bit, bear with me, so that you can see it. But this one had a 7-inch circle. I'll just have to move the camera up for a minute. Okay, and so you get the idea. This was a canvas, and there's the large circle in the middle. Okay, I'll just pop the camera back down for a minute. And I have another one here that is of my grandson Sam, and this is a layout that I just used. I cut a circle about 6 inches, I think, and then I've overlapped under the photo on both the left and the right. So let's see if we can move the camera up to see that as well. I hold this up. Whoop. There we go. You can see how I've overlapped the circle on both sides of the layout. Okay. I think you can see that. Whoop. I'll just go back a little bit. Okay, so it really is a great tool, and there's so many fun things that you can do. If you're a scrapbooker like me, you'll love to just go around and cut circles of all sorts of sizes, and then pop your photos behind them. If you're a card maker, you might like to make a lot of these rings. I'll just move this out of the way so you can see. Okay, and do a whole heap of different size rings. The kids would love doing this. A great project for kids to play around with, especially in the holidays. They love making circles. Okay, and then of course if you do your 1-inch circle like this, you know, you could make them into eyes by popping them in the middle of another size circle. I'll turn that around so you can see it. Okay. Lots of fun ideas that you can do with this. And as I said earlier, a good project to do coming up for next year would be if the kids needed to make rings for their project for the Olympic Games, then they can make rings from 1 inch up to 8 inches. And imagine how great that would look on their project, whether it be in a book or you know, they might have a project sheet that they have to do that's quite large, and then they could use the larger rings and use the circle cutter to make the larger rings for that. So there you go. Very easy to use. It's a fun tool, and it is quite safe. As long as if the children are using it, just be aware that the knife is very sharp underneath, the blade, sorry. Okay, there you go.